We're going to try this again. I don't think the audio really worked out the last time, so whoa. All right, that's better. All right, Leather by Tori Amos. We are starting out in a C minor progression. So she'll play a C minor and start half-stepping her way down where that C goes to B, down to B flat, to A flat, to G, to F sharp, back up to G. Now the chords, and don't quote me on this because this is just me playing by ear and figuring out based on what I think I know. So she's going, so that's a G. So C minor, G. Now this is the weird part because I can go, or I can do so you can opt for a B flat, a G minor, or a C minor with a seventh, because those all interchange with that B flat in this progression that she's established using C minor as her root. And then she'll go to an F major after that B flat because that's the A. So this is like reverse engineering. Like you hear these notes and you're just like, what are the possible chords that have that note in it that fit within the scheme? And if none of those work, then that means they're using a different chord where that note is possibly a sus2 or a sus6 or something like that. So from what I gather, C minor, G, and then some sort of B flattish. And that's A, what is that? A minor flat fifth? Or it could be an F. You can use an F. It works either way. So it's an A flat now. Now it's an E flat inverted. And then we're going to do a D. Yeah, D to G. There we go. And that's the main part there. Here, she'll sing the melody on an E flat, and now she's gonna play like a flat, E flat, and then switch to minor now. And then now here's a B flat minor, and then she'll do that again. But now we're on the A flat minor to E flat, and then she'll do like a B major instead of a B, and then F sharp. And then back to that. So that's like a flat minor or major. I think the first time she does a major and then she switches to minor the rest of the time. So. She'll go da 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 da. So she'll end on a B flat major here. So that's the okay. Oh, da, 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 da. So what did I play there? A flat major to an E flat to an A flat minor to B flat minor. And then she'll do it again, but now we're on A flat minor. And then we'll do a B major to F sharp, and then back to the A flat minor part. And then from there, we go F sharp to E flat, A flat minor, now B flat. 7, B flat 7, and then we're back to the top. she just stays minor the whole time. So again, I did some wrong chords there, but it still sounded good. And I'm just having a hard time deciding where she's going major and where she's going minor because it works either way depending on your context and how you're playing. But I know for sure she's ending on a B flat seventh there because that kind of is like a go-to link to get back into that C minor mode after we've switched over to that kind of major minor mode thing. And then just using, that same technique of writing down, but she's gonna start writing up to get back up to where she wants. It's very Beatles, very Beatles. So I'm using a lot of inversions and don't feel like you have to play it the way that I do it. It's just for me, that makes it easier for me to do those rides. But sometimes the best way to start is by playing all your chords on their roots, just so you get comfortable with hearing it. So you can be like, so it's, the chords are basically whatever they want to be. So that's why I like using like chords and lyric sheets whenever I do look something up. Or if I'm tinkering and reverse engineering, I work off of the head hum. And usually the melody kind of tells you where chords are. And then you can reverse engineer because like, all right, so I know I'm in F or in that C minor. But then every now and then there's an A. So I know that within that chord scheme, I can be using C minors, I can be using B flats, I can be using A flats, I can be using G minors. And a lot of it's just trial and error, and you trust your ear. You play the melody, and you're like, that doesn't sound right. Oh, that sounds right. And then remember what those notes are. And then when you're playing with the chords, you'll be like, that doesn't sound right. So start shifting your fingers one by one and just keep hitting it until like it sounds right. And you're like, that sounds good. I think that's what it is. Trust your ears, and sometimes it may not be verbatim right, but it still sounds good because there's relative minors, relative majors, relative like weird nuances that you can do with chords by using quote unquote the wrong chord, but for some reason it still works. And that's the glory of making a cover song. It's up to you how you want to do it. So don't limit yourself and experiment, play around with it, make it your own. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You can't play good until you make a bunch of mistakes. That's how you learn. So. And a lot of times it helps to just like not think about it and look away and just let your fingers do what they want to do, because sometimes you'll be surprised how much muscle memory you've developed over the years from other songs that you have learned, and you kind of start to like hear things and feel things and where they should be. And so you look away and then all of a sudden like you'll hit that right note and you're like, that's it, and then just stop and then look down and be like, oh, I'm playing B flat, then play some more and be like, there it is, and then look down. And then that's another way of teaching yourself how to play a song, is just trusting your hands and your ear to find it naturally after you've been playing for a while, you'll be surprised how much you actually know without actually knowing it. So hopefully this video sounds better. I'm going to try and upload it again on Patreon. And I just want to help you out, Luis, so that way you can expedite this process of figuring out the song by seeing it overhead view, and you can pause and play it. I hope I'm not going too fast. Sometimes I forget that I go too fast for a lot of people. So let me know if this helps, or if you need me to do it again slower. I'm more than happy to help anybody who reaches out to me and says, hey, I want to learn this. I can try and tinker my best. And again, I'm a self-taught. I don't play verbatim note for note. It's just off of the head hums and what I think and feel sounds right, and have fun playing it. That's the main thing. Have fun making the music. Sometimes while you're tinkering out songs, you'll make a quote unquote mistake, but it sounds good. Sometimes just roll with it, and then you'll start making up your own song based on what you already started learning. You know, you'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I'm going to keep rolling with it and just make up my own thing based on this mistake that I made that magically sounds good. That's part of how I make up music and write songs too, is sometimes I'll be trying to figure out a song and then something else happens and I'm like, I kind of like that. Let me just roll with that and see what happens. Like Caterpillar was born that way. I was trying to figure out some song in A minor by Bach or something. And I'm not classically trained. And as I was tinkering, I was like, I like this. I'm just going to roll with this and just make up my own stuff. So, yeah, it is what it is. Enjoy, have some fun. And thank you, Luis, for sharing with me your progress and the songs and stuff that you want to do. I get to listen to it and I get to be inspired, and I get to learn new songs too. You know, music is fun that way. You can, you know, to be able to play what's in your head it's the greatest gift you can give yourself. So I am glad that you got yourself a keyboard and that you are practicing and that you are playing. Enjoy that new keyboard bench. Having the right tools and feeling good is the number one step. You know, now you have the tools. So you just have to make time, even if it's for just 1 minute here and there, where you're just practicing, you know, going from G to B flat, you know, going F sharp to C, and just practicing little chord progressions, or just writing an arpeggio that you're working on. Every minute of that helps your brain retain. So don't feel like you have to sit in front of the piano for 4 hours to make progress. You can wake up in the morning, dilly-dally for a couple of minutes, go about your day. When you get home, dilly-dally for a few more minutes, and then if you're feeling up to it, play for a good 10, 15 minutes, and then dilly-dally before bed for a couple of minutes. That's progress, believe it or not, and you're making progress. So keep at it.